Welcome to Rotary and Serving Our Community. My name is Nomura, and today we have a pretty special program. We're going to be talking about one of the aspects of Rotary, and that is leadership. With us today we have Jack Tingstrom. Jack, how you doing?
Great, Wade. Just fantastic.
Good. Now, what is your role in Rotary? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, let's see. I can start by saying I'm a native Santa Barbaran. I'm born and raised here. In fact, I was born in a house over on Gillespie and Mitchell Terrain, and still here. Was schooled here, graduated from Santa Barbara Catholic High School in '53, went into the Navy. And talking about leadership, that started right then. I was a cryptographer. I was working for the Admiral Commander of Fleet Air Western Pacific and running a watch section of cryptographers. I came home, I went to work for General Telephone Company and worked my way into the managerial level of the organization. They sort of required community service. When you made a manager, you went into community service, and that's where my life in Rotary began, because I joined Rotary in Santa Paula in 1978 with Jack McClanahan, and when I graduated on the same day we joined. From there, moved back to Santa Barbara in my operating and became really involved in Rotary. Rotary to me is really special. My whole life has been service and in the service in the Navy, and then service to the community and service to GTE with the telephone service. And I loved community service. I was involved in high school, and I decided that that's where I wanted to go. And from there, I got involved in the community in Santa Paula. When I got transferred back to Santa Barbara, I became involved in the community in Carpinteria because I was commuting, so Carpinteria was natural. I met some very nice people. I mean, just super people. I became a conference chair and assembly chair, just various chairs, and then took over giving community service projects like vocational service and community service and international service and club service. Those are the types of things that I really like to do. I had some great leaders. I worked for about 10 district governors in a row.
So this is all based on Rotary experience you're talking about now?
All Rotary experience.
Okay.
And my GTE experience, that kept leadership, leading this organization, leading this part of the corporation. Then I went on from there. When I retired, I went back to Ventura and got involved in politics. And from there, I became a city councilman and a mayor of Ventura, and that's another leadership role. And all of this before I got into PRLS, before PRLS was even thought of. When PRLS came along and I was asked to get involved in that, I just jumped at the chance because I just had finished up my MBA at the age of 65 in executive leadership and economics. And so it gave me a chance to expand on that. With your help, and you asked me to come on board for PRLS, practical, relevant leadership skills. When it first started with Jock McKenzie, district governor, it was potential Rotary leadership skills. And we had refined it because we weren't just looking for Rotary leadership, we were looking for everybody in Rotary is a leader of some kind of another. They really are, and we're giving them practical leadership skills, something they can use in their family, something they can use in everyday life. And we have found that to be a pretty exciting situation.
Rotary itself lends itself to leadership. In other words, the people you actually recruit have to come from some type of leadership background or business background. And using, I would say, PRLS, practical relevant leadership skills, as one of the tools then, have you noticed that it increases and improves the leadership capabilities of not only clubs, but of communities and community leaders?
Yeah, it does, Wade. We start out with, as you know, with the introduction to Rotary and leadership and communication skills, and it takes a half a day to do that. From that opens them up to go to five sessions of leadership skills. And that's the exciting part, because now you're getting into what leadership is all about. We start out by offering facilitation, how to take a project, how to put it together, how to get consensus. If you were a club president and you wanted to bring a project forward, you have to get consensus of the club to do that project. Our leadership program is pretty much says non-authority type leadership. You're the president of a club, you have no authority. You were asked to be president, but they didn't give you any authority to how to do it. So we teach you how to do that, how to recognize people by what they do, their personality styles, where they fit, how good that they can, some of them are doers and some of them are supporters. We teach you how to do that. We get you consensus, we teach you leadership skills, and then we take you into public speaking. Public speaking is, the extemporaneous speaking is how to do an interview or how to present somebody or to introduce them. Then we go into a little 3-minute, 5-minute speech, and then we take you from that into planned public speaking. Now, planned public speaking is, to graduate out of that, you need a 5 and a 10-minute talk. The 5-minute talk, you're going to talk about Rotary. The 10-minute talk is, what are you passionate about? What in your life are you passionate about? And that's the 10-minute. Then the last session is we take all of the facilitation, the leadership skills, the public speaking, and we round it out into business planning or business organization and project planning, where actually they take and break the class up into groups, and they plan for a project. And that's the success of where PRLS has come in, because most of the clubs that are winning the prizes or have the great projects right now were 80% Master PRLS graduates, and everybody on the committees were Master PRLS graduates. Those are the ones every year for the last 7 that I know of. I've all won the large club awards, the medium club awards, and the small club awards. And that's pretty good.
That is good. I understand that the mission of PRLS and the leadership organization and curriculum was based on trying to make clubs more effective as clubs based on leadership and organizational skills that those leaders would have. Have you noticed that to be the case?
Yes, yeah, I've noticed that a bit. In fact, just about 5 or 6 years ago, we had a president in our club that didn't have Master PRLS graduate, and she wanted to do a project. It was her whole vision to do this for this year. She just couldn't get the consensus, and then she was running up against a project in the club that had been there for a long time, and she wanted to add this to it. And they just didn't think that they had the wherewithal to do it. And if she had had the facilitation and the leadership skills to do that, we would have been fine. Mm-hmm. It sort of took the air out of her year. Mm-hmm. But every club that you see that has leadership and Master PRLS graduates in it, they're at the top of the game, and they don't have any trouble putting them on. They know how to pick people to get the job done, and that's what it's all about.
Let's talk about the 5 classes. You said there's 5 in the series of the master one. First one we talked about is facilitation skills. Let's go over that one. Tell me a little bit about what you do and the goal and mission of that class.
The goal and mission of that class, as I explain it, is getting consensus of a group of people just like her in the club. We take them through, we say, here's what you got. You have like a Cadillac. It's an old Cadillac, and we want to know what you want to do with it. Well, the group has got 15 different ideas on what they want to do with it, but they have to come to a consensus. And it shows them how to get consensus through working with some charts and things like that, where they have to talk about what they would do with the car and how they would do it. But at the end of the day, there's no doubt in anybody's mind that that's the project that you want to do, whichever one it is.
Good.
I've seen major projects come out of that class. Sure. We have one in our club with Gerardo Sanchez, who presented a program for veterans, a veteran stand-up day and things like that. And he was only one that did that. Well, now in our club, he's got 10 to 15 people that do that.
That's good.
So those are some of the success stories.
That's good. And since you and I and have had some political background, I would say in Rotary they quote, there's no politics. So this would be one of the instrumental tools, being able to bring that forward and making it less political, less contentious as far as
That's why I
decisions.
like no authority type leadership.
Yeah,
Because if you explain that, you sort of take the bully out of the pulpit, you know, and you back him off, and therefore you're going to have business people in there. Some are running major corporations, and you're going to have city folks in there, county folks, state folks, and they're all political. And so the political game has got to be sort of set aside, and that's why I really like Rotary leadership, because every year our organization changes from top to bottom, changes every leader from top to bottom. That's from international, national, district, clubs, all the presidents, all of them are gone, and you start off with a new group. And that's why leadership training, and you're involved with that, PETS, president-elect training, governor-elect training, all of that is just, that's why we're so successful.
So the next class we have is the leadership skills.
Yeah, leadership skills start off by explaining what no authority type leadership is, and give them the confidence that if they've never had a group leadership, we're going to teach them how to make their year successful. We teach them how to recognize people by who they are, what they do, how they speak. Are they organizers? Are they just doers? Or are they just people that come to lunch? And by the end of the day, and we give them class projects to do in identifying these people, who are the organizers and who are the suppliers, and they come out of that just pretty much satisfied. And in fact, the last class we had in Bakersfield, the class came at the end and said, "We think we ought to have more case studies. We'd really like getting in depth in that." Well, I used to teach personality styles, how to recognize them by extrovert, introvert, you know, engineers, clerks, whatever. They're very recognizable. By the end of that day, they're ready to go on to public speaking. Public speaking, one, like I said, is extemporaneous speaking, short speeches, how to do that, not be afraid to do it, get up, just let everybody know who you are and what's going on. The planned public speaking are the major ones.
So that's the third and fourth class in the series,
yeah,
correct?
Third and fourth class in a series. And then because we've done all of this facilitation, leadership, and public speaking, now we're ready to go into business management and project planning. And that to me is the ultimate pyramid. You build it as the weeks went on. You build it, and you come down, and that's where we've had some projects that have come out of those classes over the last 12, 14 years that people are still doing for fundraisers. You have Thousand Oaks with a chili cook-off. You have Cambria with a beer garden. You've got your project that you had in Carpinteria, the park out there. Mm-hmm. All of these are still in line. See Me Breakfast. I can name you.
So that's the graduating class. That would be the
that's
fifth
the graduating
and final
class. That's the fifth and final one.
Okay.
Then we turn around and we give them a little pin.
Okay.
That says Master Pearls, and pin it on them, and they go back. And I haven't seen anybody come out of Master Pearls yet that said they were sorry that they didn't. they did it.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very, very true. When you look at leaders within the district, when I say district, within the Rotary organization that we are a member of, has it been the case that every governor, for example, has been a Master Pearls graduate?
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Pretty close. I'd say the last 8 or 10 have been Master Pearls graduates. Yeah. And that makes them successful. You still have personalities involved even at that level and at every level. You know, they all have their way of leading, mm-hmm. you know, personality. In just the last 4 years, you've had 4 different types, and you're going to have another one next year.
True. Now, how about what's unique about, I would say, yourself and myself is that we were actually in Rotary before we went into politics, before we became councilmen, and in your case, the mayor. How much do you think that prepared you, working with a volunteer organization like Rotary and preparing you to take on a position like that, an office?
It taught me how to get along with people, and how to listen, and that to me is a big part of leadership. I used to tell my crews and my divisions, you know, when I'd give a talk to them, and I'd say, look, you know, you're hearing me, but you're not listening to me. The art of listening is you've got to pay attention. Yeah. There's a whole class that I used to teach on just listening. But it all different types from all different walks of life in Rotary. taught you how to get along with them, how to build consensus, how to do this. When I became mayor, I felt really comfortable. But holding a position like that is very humbling, you know, and you have to learn to be humble if you're going to be the mayor, or you're going to do that.
True. I think that has part to do with the non-authority leadership that Rotarians have to tend to learn and understand, because it's a volunteer organization. You know, you can't say you're fired. You can't get rid of them.
Same thing with mayor.
Exactly.
You volunteered to run for mayor because somebody group said, well, we want you to run for mayor, your vision. There's the other thing of leadership that is so important to me, is vision. If you don't have vision, you might as well pack it in. You know, a city council person or a city mayor and a city council should be looking 20, 30 years out. You have a city manager and you have a city management team that takes care of the todays and the tomorrows. So if you don't have vision, you're not going to go anywhere. And that's what I've liked about the district governors that I've worked for. They all had that vision. They all looking out there. We're going to get prepared this year and then carry it on. Very, very, very big.
Good. You know, I've got a stack here. We got a few photos I'd like to go over with you. First of all, we'll take a look at these. The first picture shows, I guess, one of the instructors, Doug Hoffman, I believe.
Doug Hoffman teaches.
Teaching one of the classes. Our instructors, where do they come from, and how do you evaluate and develop your instructing staff?
Well, the instructors, some of them come out and say, I'd like to be an instructor. I'm a professor here, or I'm a leadership in a business here. And because we have 5 classes, that, like you know, you teach all 5, and there's very few of them that teach all 5, is that they're good at something, but they not be good at something else. Now, like Doug is one of the ones that teaches public speaking 1 and 2, and he teaches 5, which is business management and project planning. He wants to get into 4 and 3. I mean, he used to teach facilitation, but he's not into it anymore. But professors, we have them. Mostly they just want to teach like public speaking or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. We have a few more pictures in a series here. One picture shows a class, looks like a class graduating photo.
Right.
That is from which location?
Santa Maria.
Santa Maria, so part of the north part of our district there.
And I would say, Wade, don't mean to interrupt, but I would say that half of these people have been or are going to becoming presidents.
True.
I can see them in here all over the place.
Very true. Next picture we have shows a graduating class outside. I believe this is Thousand Oaks, correct?
Yes, that's Thousand Oaks.
Okay.
That is taken at Cal Lutheran. We're using Cal Lutheran as one of our training centers. Doug Hoffman is a coordinator there, and this class too, there are some past presidents in there. There's a few rotor actors in here. And then you taught the class.
Right. That was. So overall, curriculum-wise, what areas do we cover as far as where we're teaching the classes?
Oh, well, the district runs from Cambria to Delano, Delano down to China Lake, and China Lake to Thousand Oaks, and back up to Cambria. There's 74 clubs and about 4,000 Rotarians, and we've split it up into 4 regions. The north region is San Luis Obispo County. The east region is Kern County and China Lake and Tehachapi and all of that. And then Ventura County and Santa Barbara County. And those are the 4 regions. We held classes in San Luis Obispo, Santa Maria, Bakersfield, Taft, Thousand Oaks, Cal Lutheran, Ventura, Santa Barbara Business College. So we any place that we can get a room and lunch, we serve them lunch and breakfast. But we cover them all. We have classes running every month, and at least 2 classes every month, spread out over the whole area.
Great. Another picture we have here shows another class. It looks like a graduating class, and pretty diverse age group. You have
yes, it is.
Some, I would say, quote, veteran Rotarians, and looks like some high school students.
Was this San Luis Obispo?
This was actually Kern County.
Yeah, that was Kern County.
Yes,
yeah,
yeah,
I see Tiller in there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then the next picture we show looks like it's an all high school class.
This is an all high school class in an Interact Club, Newberry High School, Thousand Oaks High School, Simi Valley, St. Bonaventure, and Ventura. They were from all over. We held that in Thousand Oaks, at the Best Western Hotel. And as you can see, quite a lot of turnout. We're getting a lot of requests from the Interact clubs now for more leadership training, and you've only got 2 or 3 years to get them through it.
True, that is very true. As far as the number of those taking the classes, pretty substantial in size?
Pretty substantial. You see this one here when it was just all interactors, because we took the next age group of rotoractors and moved them on up to the regular classes. Gotcha. There are, let's say 15 in this class about, and you can see them. They're all look enthusiastic to me.
Yeah, good, very good.
We have two Interact brother and sister from one club and one family. The boy went through it first, and he held that over his sister for about 6 months, and then she finished up. And it's the only one that I know of that are a brother and sister that have a Master Pearls. And one of them is a senior this year, and the other one's a sophomore.
Great, great, outstanding. Another picture here shows me, I'll cover this one, with Chris Mullen, who is actually from Zimbabwe. And this was the transfer of some documents, some information from the Pearls curriculum.
Right.
How far is this curriculum? Does it reach worldwide? Which areas
Yes, it does reach worldwide. We have ours, which is Pearls. The International has Rotary International training programs, leadership training programs, but it reaches worldwide. All of these projects that are going on around the world have got some attachment to a basic, like Pearls leadership class. In our club, we have 2 water projects going, one in Philippines and one in Cameroon. Both of those people have been through, or the core group has been through Pearls. And our illiteracy program that we have, the trivia night, that's put on by a Pearls graduate. The golf tournament that we hold, that's put on by Pearls graduates. It's a team of Pearls graduates. So it is pretty important to all of our programs that somewhat involve everybody that in Pearls is involved in one of the clubs or a project.
Great. All right. A few other pictures here. This is Royal Grande, their bandstand.
Right.
That one I present because that was actually one of the projects that was developed through our curriculum class,
right.
Correct?
That's right. That's right. And you have Cambria has got a project. I always thought it was interesting because I was in the class with them when they came up with it. You've always heard of water to wine. And then they came up with a project that said wine to water, and was a process that they were taking the old vineyards and converting what was there back to the water process, taking the alcohol out of it. It was crazy.
That is
crazy.
And then the other picture, next picture we show is actually the Carpinteria, the interpretive player.
Right.
Again, that was one project that did come from that graduating class.
That's a beautiful part.
That was a good one. And our last picture here shows a gentleman. This is Bernard Ramos, who is a member of the water organization in Mexico.
Right.
And again, I highlighted that because those projects, again, started and were implemented from a project development plan that we put in place by those classes.
I think the thing that I can leave with you is I have 2 projects going with me. I have Rotary and I have caregivers, and they're both service. One's for the elderly, one's for the community, and we just have fun. Nothing's work. It's just fun. We have a good time, and if you don't, you won't see them come back.
Now, how about success stories? Tell us a little bit about some success stories, some of the quote testimonials you've heard, because I've seen quite a few coming from this curriculum.
Yeah, people have, their business has gone. Savi Bim in Simi Valley has a embroidery store, and she says she went through the Master Pearls classes and graduated, and she says her business is up 30%.
Wow.
A lot of that's from people in Rotary that met her and wanted their businesses and shirts and jackets, and we still have Master Pearls jackets too.
Now, I do recall we had 2 faculty members, instructors, come actually from Carnegie program.
That's right. That's exactly right.
to use and replicate some of the systems we're putting in place.
We're putting in place, and they're taking them and running with them. And we had John Dodson over in Taft doing that the same way with the youth in the community college, and some of the things he taught, especially the leadership portion of it. They'll pick up the facilitation, that's no problem, but the leadership and the public speaking.
Pretty important parts of it.
Yeah.
Now, with 3,400 Rotary clubs around the world in the 200 countries that we cover, how many do you think actually have leadership training for their presidents of this caliber? Would you tend to guess?
I would say that it's got to be over 50%, 60%. It's got to be. We wouldn't be this successful if we didn't have some type of training.
Rotary.
Yeah, you take a look at us. We eradicated polio with good leaders years ago in the mid-'80s. We got rid of it. It came back. Now we're within that close of doing it again. If you didn't have the leadership skills to do it, push that, every club is involved with that. All throughout Rotary is involved with eradicating polio. But this is what you got to have those type of leaders that at least know the basic skills.
That's very true. As far as what you've seen, those successful leaders in Rotary, how many of those do you think actually also carry the same amount of success within the community and professionally?
Big. In fact, it grows more as you do more. You can take the Thousand Oaks Club. I can remember when they first started that, it was a little chili cook-off. Well, now it's a whole weekend for the whole city, and they're not making just a little bit of money. They're making grand money, scholarship money, not church money, but organizations like the schools and the community projects. It's huge. It's huge.
Yeah, I agree. From what I've seen with their successes, just to share with the audience there, they actually funded a children's cancer clinic, actually built a hospital in Mexico. Pretty impressive.
You go up to the University of Utah, where my kids are from, and you'll see the University of Utah Cancer Hospital, and the Rotary did the children's wing of that hospital.
Wow. Well, Jack, thank you very much for joining us and sharing some of your experiences with this. If somebody out there wanted to get more information, where would they go for this?
Well, you can go, now we are on the Rotary District website. So you would go Rotary District 5240, and it'll bring it up the web page, and you can see the schedule for all the Rotary classes for the next couple of months. And at the bottom of the page, you can just click on PRLS.org, and it'll take you into what the classes are, the scheduling of them, the signing up form, registration, everything is there.
And you don't need to be a Rotarian to
No, you don't have to be a Rotarian. We have Rotary family that can come. Even business partners that you have and not in Rotary. Yeah, we're open to the world.
Well, thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. Take a look at that, PRLS.org, and see what you can do. The tools that are taught in these classes are pretty exemplary and would definitely help you in your daily life also. So thank you, and we will see you soon.